Hi guys, it's Crystal. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to bring in just a PNG by Googling an image or something like that and bringing it into the Creative Studio to print off for the sublimation, and then how to add in the this right here is vinyl. So we're going to cut this out with a Cricut and add that below. So this one right here I did of the famous movie Elf. So this is something that's kind of popular in our area. This is something that we'd seen at the that little craft fair convention that we'd seen. There's one of our local boutiques that's been selling like this design and then this other one that we're fixing to do here in a minute. So it's something that's kind of popular right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this one aside. Now these shirts right here I'd found on that clothingshop.online.com. I'll have it linked down below. These ones right here are Jerseys Dry Power Sport, and these are 100% polyester. The one thing I will say that I've noticed so far, I ordered these in medium, and this is probably like a small or an extra small. So definitely order probably 2 sizes up. So this is a medium, ladies, and it, like I said, they were pretty small. So I just want to give that little tip, but these are around $3 and something, and they're 100% polyester. So I'm going to set that aside. Now for this one right here, it's a popular design, and we're going to put, it's going to say Friendsgiving, and it's going to be a Friends of a Thanksgiving, so this will be a Thanksgiving shirt. Now these shirts were selling for $38 a piece, so it's quite a big investment. I mean, so it's a pretty big turnaround. So if you've got around $4 in this shirt and then you're making like 38, it's a pretty big turnaround. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and switch us over here. So what we're gonna do, this is Creative Studio. This is what it's gonna look like. I've already got it on the t-shirt. All you would do is go to products. This is the software that comes with the Sawgrass SG400. You can use other like CorelDRAW and all those things. You can use those with this as well. This comes with it for free with this software. I don't think you can purchase it separate. I've had that question. I think it's just if you own this, because you'll have to put in like a registration code and all that to download it. So what you're going to do is you just type in t-shirt and then pick vertical or horizontal, and so that's what I've already done, and it's come up with this. So the next step is you would want to come to Google search, and what I did was I typed in Friends. So I typed in Friends Thanksgiving PNG, and then you start getting all these different images come up. So say that I'm happy with this one. This is the one that I'm wanting today. What I do is like I normally do, just like if you were working with like Cricut Design Space, I would bring my main screen down just a little bit, grab the image with my mouse and hold down, and then just drop it right onto my desktop. The next thing you want to do to double check, the bigger the image that you bring in, the better the quality. So you'll want to double click on it, and then you'll want to bring it out even bigger to see if it's pixelated. Make sure that everything still looks super smooth. So I'm happy with that. It looks good. But if you bring in something that's small, let me back out of this really quick. So it looks really good right here. When you bring it over, it may not look as good. So always click on those. So one thing I can always do to make it even bigger, I can go to visit the website that this is located on. And then from here, I could click on the image from here. So let's see if that's the only one that's on here, because those almost seem a little bit smaller. We'll try it really quick. So say I'm going to try this one and bring it up here. Double click on it, bring it up bigger, and you can see that this one is more pixelated. So hopefully you guys can see that in his face. You can see how pixelated this is. So the bigger the image, the better it's going to be. So that first one looks really good. It just depends. Sometimes if you go to the web page, it's going to be bigger and all that. So I think I've already got it. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these ones out of here, and I'll show you that first one that I've already brought in. So I'll double click on it here, and then I'll bring it big so you can see. So everything looks pretty smooth to me. It's got a little bit of pixeling going on there, pixelation if you will, like the pixels are messing up. But I think that one looked pretty good. I think that's one of the ones that I had chose to go with. So what I'm going to do is exit out of that. There was another one I liked. I really liked this one. The only problem is you could not see Phoebe, so I didn't go with that one. So what we're going to do, the next step is, once you already have your image, you're going to come back to Creative Studio. You're going to go to Images, so it's right here, the third little button over. Click on it. And then what we're going to do is click upload. So I'm going to choose a file, And what's easiest for me if you're on a Mac is just going to recent. If not, I'd go to desktop. So just kind of go with whatever works best for you. And then I'm going to choose that one. I'm going to make sure that's with Phoebe, and I think it is this one right here. I'm going to hit choose. I'm going to name it Friends. And then it'll ask you if you have rights to this image, and I'm going to say yes. Now, when it comes to selling it, I know there's a certain things, so you can say that it's inspired or things like that. You wouldn't want to just list the shirt and be selling like millions of them. I think it's okay if it's a couple. There's a whole thing you may want to read into a little bit. But if you're making these for yourself for personal use, not selling them, they're not a problem. But like I said, I've seen other people sell them, so I think there is a thing as long as it's not like you can't go over, like, say, this is just a quote or, you know, just an estimate. Say you can't go over, like, selling 50 of the same image or something like that. There's something to it, so we need to do a little bit of research in that. So after you click, I have the rights to this, you're going to click Upload. I'm going to go ahead and pull my screen back up at this point. And then you can see I've already messed with a few other images, just kind of playing around. So I'm going to double click on Friends. All right, so this is our box here. So this little box, that's what we have to work with. So I'm just going to kind of work with this a little bit. Now what I did I'm going to show you really quick. Let me bring you guys back down. All right, so when it came to this shirt, I didn't do the whole 8.5 by 11. Because since this shirt's kind of basically, it's a medium, but it's basically like an extra small, I came in and did a little bit of measurements to see what would be best. And I decided to go with, it was about 8.5, maybe a little bit over 8.5. So 8.5 by 5, almost 5.25. So that's basically what I went with on this one. So I want to do the exact same thing. So I'm going to come over here. And then what I do is, so say I'm going to go with 8.5. I come up here to all right, so what I do is I want 8.5, so I kind of click on it and then use my tool to bring it in until I can pretty much get that width, which is right here at that 8.5, and I can kind of play with it a little bit here. It's 5.6. I think that's good enough to me. 8.7, 5.66. I think I'll be fine with that. So that is what I'm going to do. So at this point, I brought it, so I wanted it to kind of be centered on my white paper, so whenever I go to lay it on my shirt here, and I just kind of brought it up a little bit so it was a little more up, and then just kind of centered here. Next step you're going to do is hit print. We're going to hit OK. We're going to click here to print. And it always pops back behind here for some reason instead of coming in front, so I just find it. All right, here it is. So it's already going to have it mirrored for us. It's on polyester fabric, texture, print. All those things are already ready, so I'm going to hit print. I'm going to switch all over to the printer. Alright, so once we get our image, we'll bring it back down here. So now I've got it sitting here, I can kind of see about where that's going to go. So something like this. I still play the same rule, about 3 fingers down, and kind of just get it there. So I know that's going to be pretty good. So I know that this image is about 8.5, like I said, so about 8.5. So the next piece that I want to go ahead and get designed out before we jump right into getting this done is on Cricut Design Space. So I'm going to bring you guys back over to the web. All right, so on on Cricut Design Space, this is where I'm going to cut out my my vinyl. What I did was I just typed out Friendsgiving in all caps. I used the font A Little Sunshine. I believe I got this from, either this was already on my computer or I got it from devfont.com, but it's called A Little Sunshine. And like I said, so I typed out Friendsgiving. Then what I did was I took shapes. I took a circle right here. I sized it down. And then what you can do to make it kind of match the way that Friends has theirs is go through here and put a circle in each one. So you just make that first size, and what I'm going to do is click on this, and then I'm going to hit Advanced and hit Ungrouped Letters. Alright, so what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to start to space these down a little bit. Just scooting them down. Alright, at this point, now that I've kind of got them scooted a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and take this circle here, go ahead and get it where I want it to be, and then I'll scoot this one over, and then I'll get the next one. So all I do is duplicate, and then I'll put this in the next spot, like this. So I'll keep going, so on and so forth, so I'll just kind of try to keep those all lined up. I'll click on the next one, hit duplicate, put it in there. Now if I need to, I'll click on the next letter and I'll click over to give myself a little bit of space. Okay, so in Cricut Design Space, all I did was type out Friendsgiving, and I used the font A Little Sunshine. A Little Sunshine. Now, I downloaded this from devfont.com, or it came on my laptop, not too sure, but it is a system font. And so on this, I just typed out Friendsgiving in all caps, and then what I'm going to do is size it down. So what I want it to be is the same length as my picture, which is 8.5 by 11. So all I did was come up to width, and I changed that to 8.5, just to kind of keep it around the same length. All right, just like that. So it's going to end up making it 1.1 inches tall and then 8.5 inches wide. Now what you could do if you want to put the little dots in between, just like they have, you could come to Shapes, get a circle, size it down, and then go ahead and roll through there and put tiny little dots. I'm not going to do that, so it's ready to do. I'm going to hit Make It. I'm going to click Mirror for Iron On. We're going to click Continue. All right, I'm going to go ahead and choose Iron On, and it's ready to go. All right, so what I'm going to do at this point, all right, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and take my Iron On and get it down on my mat. Just like that. And then we're going to go ahead and load it. All right, I'm going to hit go. All right, go ahead and unload it. And I'm going to weed this out. All right, now that I've got this weeded out, I've got our sublimation printed. Let's go ahead and go on over to the heat press. All right, so the first thing I do is I make sure that I've got my parchment paper on the bottom. What I've been doing is trying to heat up my base first, so that way the bottom is already warm too, so I kind of just drop it for a second. I've got it on light pressure. Pull this open. And then what I'm going to do is take my shirt and go ahead and get out any moisture or wrinkles. So what I do is I kind of just get it lined up like this. I get the neckline off of it, and then I just kind of pay attention to kind of make sure this is even. All right, see, I'm happy with that. I'm going to slide it in. Pull out those wrinkles and moisture. Alright, so now we're ready to go. So I've already got those wrinkles and moisture pulled out. So once again, I'm going to double check to make sure we're straight on everything. Alright, so say I'm happy with that. I'm going to start with the sublimation first. take that picture, get it face down, just making sure that it's even between the two. And then it's down. So I think that looks pretty good. I'll double check it, kind of picking it up like. All right, so I think that looks good. So then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cover it with my parchment paper. Push it in there. And